Tonight, it's our final live show of the season. I know, we're all sad too. But we're not leaving without a parting gift of one more awesome show. Let's say goodbye to 2020 in style with this hour-long special episode of All Systems Go, starting right now. Welcome back to All Systems Go. I'm Nathan Welsh, your host, and tonight we're bringing you an hour of exciting content. So let's start the night off right with some news. Capcom has confirmed a huge privacy breach that exposed personal information and details about the company's upcoming projects. Of note are Resident Evil titles including a multiplayer game, Resident Evil 4 on Oculus Rift, and a demo for RE8 next year. There's also a future Ace Attorney collection and source code for the all-time classic Devil May Cry 2. Capcom says that no consumer information was stolen. The company is working with police to find the culprits. And just when you thought the Roger Rabbit era of cartoon adaptations was over, Warner Brothers is here to correct your mistake. This week, they released a trailer for the upcoming Tom and Jerry movie, which places the animated duo in the real world. The live-action cast includes stars such as Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, and Colin Jost. In the director's chair is Tim Story, most known for his live-action Fantastic Four movies. Tom and Jerry is supposedly coming to theaters in March. And the CW is developing a show based on DC's Wonder Girl, specifically the version debuting in next year's Future State comics. The show features Yara Flor, a Latina teenager who is the latest to take on the mantle. Expect superhero action along the lines of the other DC series on the network. It's the first of these with a Latina lead character. One of the show's executive producers is Dalen Rodriguez, showrunner of Queen of the South on USA. Kayla, where are we at with this announcement?
Where do I start with Wonder Girl? She's simply amazing. I am so happy they are giving her show. They did the same with Stargirl, and it's so exciting. It is so thrilling to have a new face to the name and a new backstory. Of course, her being Latina adds to the diversity of the heroes we see today, which is just so wonderful. I cannot wait to read and watch all about Yara Flor and how she finds out she is Wonder Girl. It is going to be amazing.
The nominations for this year's Game Awards were unveiled today. Let's take a look. First up is Animal Crossing, an absolutely huge game. Doom Eternal, Dan is excited about that. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which cameraman Tony supports, and Ghost of Tsushima, looking like a bit of an underdog, and Hades is the only indie game here. And The Last of Us Part 2, which Max will not shut up about. You can see the other categories on thegameawards.com. The ceremonies will be held December 10th without a live audience. Now, let's jump to our expert, Corey. Who's walking home with the statue next month?
In my professional opinion, it looks like it's down between a few. Ghost of Tsushima has a pretty loud audience support, but it's not going to win. Based on previous winners, it looks like Final Fantasy VII has a pretty good shot at winning. I think maybe those have the best shot, but my personal vote is going towards Hades. As for the big question, though, will Fortnite win Best Ongoing Game for the third year in a row?
Well, I don't know, but coming after the break, we have reviews of the new season of The Mandalorian, plus the hot new game, Bugsnax. Which is cuter, and which one tastes better? Find out when we return in 2 minutes. The Mandalorian is back, and it's getting a lot of buzz, but there's only one person's opinion you should trust on Star Wars, and that's mine. Here's a review and breakdown of the new episodes to catch up before things get really intense.
The Mandalorian is back, and it rocks. Like, it's really, really good. Basically, it just picks up right where the first season left off. We follow the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, as he is quested to bring the child, otherwise known as Baby Yoda, to his home. And I'd say direct continuation. It's the episode numbers are literally like continuing off. It's very cool. Even though it's, season 2, episode 3, it's actually it's chapter 11. pretty cool. Just cute little details. The whole thing is pretty much just like a bunch of cute details. That's what makes it so good. I mean, there's something for every Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Dave Filoni guy. I love my Clone Wars. I love my Rebels, and I love The Mandalorian. What they're doing, it's incredible. Much better than, I'd say, the sequel trilogy. But there's also stuff for the original trilogy fans. Of course, that's what makes the show work for the general audience who aren't exactly ingrained in Star Wars like someone like I am. But we see Tatooine some more. We spend a lot more time with the Tusken Raiders, the Sand People, and it's a lot of fun. The whole show is fun. You got a kaiju episode. I would stay away from the second episode if you hate spiders. That's not a spoiler. That is a genuine warning. They're cool. They're original A New Hope concept art spiders that we originally saw in Rebels, but they still suck. They're spiders. So if you hate spiders, just stay clear from that episode. But of course, the third episode, it's so good. It's so good. If you are a Clone Wars or Rebels person, please watch this show, especially that episode. And I mean, we see a lot developing in the relationship between the Mandalorian and the child. We see, how exactly often does he feed the child? How does that have consequences? We see the Empire as they've sort of drifted off from the status quo to more of a death cult, basically, which is very cool to see because we can sort of logically follow how the Empire can turn into something like the First Order. But really, I cannot recommend the show enough. I absolutely love it.
Kinda bud and kinda snack. That's the basic concept of the new indie game, Bugsnax. Allegedly, everyone is talking about Bugsnax, but is it worth talking about, or should we all remain silent? Kyle Eads played the game, and he is here to let us know.
Warning. The maker of this review had such a fun time playing the game that he forgot to finish it. Although he did have to get this review out in time for the show because #content. Viewer discretion is advised. Normally when I make these reviews, I have an elaborate intro to this whole bit, but I don't want to waste your time because we are talking about Bugsnax. Bugsnax is an adventure game developed by independent studio Young Horses. In the game, players explore the island of Snacktooth, where they try to catch and capture the title characters, the Bugsnax. These creatures roam the island free and are half bug, half snack creatures that when you eat them, it turns your arms and limbs into the characters that you consume. You play as a Grumpus, people that have visited the island and trying to catch the Bugsnax creatures. There are already previous inhabitants where you are on the journey to solve the mystery of what happened to the leader of this Grumpus group known as Lizbert. Along the way, you meet a cast of characters that are wonderful in personality and solve different puzzles to try to get your way through and solve the mystery. The game is really fun to play. I'm smiling from ear to ear every time something different is on screen. But the one knock I would have it is the gameplay itself. It is an adventure game, so there are different mechanics that you have to work towards, but the game doesn't really do a good job explaining what the mechanics do. You really have to solve it out on your own, which is enjoyable, but can be frustrating at times when you're stuck in the same point over and over again. What this game lacks for in gameplay itself, it makes up for in personality. There is so much heart and soul put into this game. You can tell the studios really wanted to do and go all out for making this a fun experience, and it generally is. I haven't had this much fun playing a game since back when Breath of the Wild came out, and it just reminds me of some of those wacky off-the-wall games you played as a kid, the biggest one being Ape Escape. That franchise is beloved, and I really think it's a fun experience. The last thing I want to talk about is the art. Everything in this game is fun to explore. There are so many different pretty and beautiful creatures. The setting is wonderfully well done, and I think this is a great example of people taking the time not to crunch a game, but to make something that has heart, has soul, and has a lot of personality. All in all, Bugsnax isn't going to be for everyone. It's an off-the-wall game, but it really has a lot of heart developed into it. All in all, I would have to give Bugsnax 9 Strabbies out of 10. It's a wonderful experience, and I think everyone should play it. Tell me what you think. I'm Kyle Eads.
for All Systems Go.
As you've probably heard, next-gen consoles are here. Corey was hyped enough to secure a PlayStation 5. Is he thrilled with his purchase? Find out when we come back.
Welcome back to All Systems Go. This time around, we're mixing things up with a live panel. I'm Nicole Jones, and I'll be your panel host for today. I'm joined by Corey to have a little chat about the long-awaited PS5. Now, Corey, my first question for the day is the PS5 a big improvement over the PS4?
Over the PS4 standard, yeah. Over the PS4 Pro, maybe not as much. It gets a lot more reliable 40, 4K, and 60 FPS and whatnot, depending on your settings. And the fan, oh my god, it's so quiet now. I love it.
Was the PS4's fan really that loud?
So loud. If you were running anything that wasn't like 20 years ago, it was just a motor jet in your home.
How about other things like load times on the software side?
Oh, load times are immediate. If you're playing off the SSD, there are no load screens. It just into game.
What about things like graphics and UI? I'm very curious about how the UI switched up. We always change up the UI when it comes to the new console.
The UI, I feel like it takes a little getting used to, but it's not way different from the PS4, at least like the main menus. And then obviously games, it's dependent on the game.
How about, since we were talking about hardware, I just want to go back to that. How do you feel about the controller? Because we have the controller right here, and it does look a little bit different from the PS4's. But I just want to know, does it feel nice and slick like that premium console that we were promised?
Oh, she's comfy. She's not
comfy.
like smooth because it has a cool textured back, but it's like, it's comfortable. It's got the really cool like adaptive triggers, which is really fun. They don't go as extreme in different games as I was hoping they would, but like Astro's Playroom, which is meant to show off the controller, they go all in, and it's really cool.
Do you definitely feel at least like you got your money's worth? Because like I said, it was so promised to be like a premium console.
Maybe not yet, just because it just came out and I only have a couple games for it, but like, it'll get there promptly.
You think so?
I think so.
That's good to know. Okay, and my next question is, do you think the PS5 has a good title line launch?
Yeah, they have a lot of really strong games. Demon's Souls is really fun. Miles Morales I binged overnight, several nights in a row. And then, I haven't played all of them. Bugsnax is really fun. You heard Kyle.
We heard Kyle.
We heard Kyle.
I will say, Kyle did actually convince me on the game, and I think I would like to play Bugsnax eventually.
Yeah, it might have helped that it's PlayStation Plus, so I didn't have to pay for it. But like, I'm enjoying myself.
What other games did you say that you had for it?
I have those, Astro's Playroom, which comes bundled with the PlayStation. And then Miles Morales came with the remaster of the PS4 Spider-Man game, but I haven't played that one yet.
Out of all the games that you've played so far, what do you think is the most enjoyable? I mean, I know you said that you haven't finished them, but at least for first impression's sake.
Miles Morales. I did finish Miles Morales.
You did.
I'm pretty close to 100% already.
How long have you had that game?
5-6 days.
And you're already that far?
To be fair, it's not nearly as long as PS4 Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought that the first Spider-Man was just really long. But how would you say Miles is as a character? Because we haven't seen him in this universe. We got a good look at him in Spider-Verse, but this is a different Miles.
Well, he did appear in the original PS4 Spider-Man game, just he wasn't a fully fledged Spider-Man yet. But like, he goes all in this game, and it's so fun. And it's Spider-Verse Miles, it's just in the game now. Spider-Verse really defined Miles Morales, and they're picking up on that.
And then, how is the Demon's Souls port? Because we all know you're a big Dark Souls fan.
Yeah, it's Demon's Souls. It has a lot of the quirks that the original one had, but it definitely improved.
All right, and then moving on to my final question for the night. Why should you choose the PS5, excuse me,
PS5.
over the Xbox Series X?
I don't know enough about the Xbox to say that you shouldn't get that one, but the PS5 has a lot of great exclusive and launch titles on it. It's got pretty much everything the PS4 had, but improved. And the load times are just completely non-existent. And it's quiet. We love a quiet console, guys.
We do. What about what about some of the games that you think the Xbox has over it? Because as we know, Halo did get delayed.
It got delayed. I can't really think of any of the Xbox exclusives.
Well, that's I always consider, you know, Halo is very synonymous with the Xbox.
Yeah.
It was the starting title with the original Xbox, and it's always been like a big staple for them.
The only ones I can think of that are exclusive to Xbox are like Halo and Forza. Halo got delayed, and Forza is a racing game. I don't really like those. So.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of racing games, but I mean, again, I kind of consider Xbox to be more of a very FPS, you know, kind of dude bro kind of game, if that makes any sense. And Sony, I think, is very niche in some of its stuff. But how do you think, which one do you consider will be like more successful in the future?
I think even though Xbox tends to like push like the technical limits, PlayStation does tend to shoot for like the cooler exclusive games, and that'll give them an edge in my opinion.
All right, well, that's all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you for being here with me today, Corey. Coming up next on ASG, Darian led us with another game show using Amazon reviews. Don't touch that remote. ASG will be right back after this short break.
Hello and welcome to All Systems Go. Welcome to Guess the Review. I have some contestants here. I will read them off a 1-star Amazon review, and they have to tell me what movie it is a review of. You know, let's introduce our contestants. I'm just going to go down the list here. Up first, we have Kayla Earnhardt.
Hello.
After that, we have Maya Bankhead.
Hi, this is my face.
Followed by Nicole Jones.
Hello.
And then, of course, as always, Kyle Eads.
The man of 1,000 hot takes.
Okay, so I will read the review. I will go down the line. You all place your guess. It's a shame I quit smoking because this movie gave me cancer anyway. Anyone know Mike Myers so we can pay for my chemotherapy?
The Cat in the Hat. To be honest, I also think it's Cat in the Hat.
Are you just saying Cat in the Hat because it's Jarian, though?
That's my logic, yeah.
You're right. So let's just all say Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, it's Cat in the Hat. Not appropriate for young children. My 7.5-year-old son was in tears after this movie and said that he gives it no stars. This is a dark movie full of meanness, lying, and betrayal, with no redemption at the end. Just a fluffy, unsatisfying ending. I wish I'd read more of the reviews before showing this to him. If your child has consumed a lot of media or plays video games, he or she will probably be fine, but we are a low-media household, so this movie was way beyond anything our child has seen before. This movie seems like it would be more fun for grown-ups to watch, possibly while tripping on acid.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay, thanks to Acid Trip, I'm actually going to go kind of similar to Kayla. I'm going to actually say Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, well, they talked about video games, so that's why I'm just going to say Ready Player One.
I also focused on video games, so I'm gonna lock in what is Sonic the Hedgehog.
You guys are going to be so mad when I say this, but
no.
It's Toy Story 3.
Oh, wait, I don't understand.
Okay, so no points for that one. Okay, here's the next review. Why? With a question mark. IMO, I get some of the issues of class struggle, but it seems to condone murder. It is a very sad and depressing movie, suggesting that poor people need to have no moral conscience because they are desperate. No redemption, no soul, murderous resentment and jealousy. Left me feeling worse about humanity as a whole. Not worth the Palme d'Or. I can give vague hints.
Like, what's the genre?
Amazon calls it drama and suspense.
Parasite.
Okay.
Because we were talking about Willy Wonka, I'm gonna guess that one.
Kyle stole my guess. I was going to say Parasite.
You're allowed to share a guess.
I say Les Mis.
It is Parasite, an insipid millennial take on Hitler and the Jews. All the depth of a Saturday Night Live sketch. All the historical research 10 minutes on Google will buy. If you want to see how comedy and tragedy can be beautifully mixed in a Nazi-era film, see Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful, and skip this high school dreck.
I truly don't know, so I'll say a nice Schindler's List. I truly don't watch any films about the Holocaust. Jojo Rabbit or something like that?
I am also going to lock in Jojo Rabbit.
I'm gonna just say the most outlandish guesses now. My guess is Mean Girls.
It was Jojo Rabbit. Okay, here's the next one. Too Evil for Us. Didn't like the movie. Didn't watch it all. Too much evil content. We are both Christians and felt uncomfortable.
Genre.
Yeah, genre is fantasy.
I'm gonna say The Hobbit.
Okay, how retro? Like, is this at least early 2000s?
Wait,
Yeah,
you can't
early
give
2000s.
year. Wait,
Early-
oh wait.
Bridge to Terabithia, I don't know.
God,
The very
year.
first Harry Potter movie.
I'll also go with the first Harry Potter.
Kyle got the closest. It is the first Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
See, I.
Okay, fine. Since this is the last one, I will make this worth 3 points.
Okay.
1 star. Too much Michael Cera.
That's
What
not
was the
fair.
era? What was the era? Like the 2000s, 2010s?
2010s.
What's the genre?
The genre is, according to Amazon, comedy.
Let's base this off of, that's so funny because it's so stupid because he's the main character. So I will lock in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I was also going to say Scott Pilgrim because it's the only thing I've seen him in.
I was gonna say Superbad because that's the only thing I've seen him in.
I will also say Scott Pilgrim.
The correct answer is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
No!
It was one of.
Yeah, we need to go to the tiebreaker because Maya and Kyle are still tied.
How about we private message somebody in here so we can't see like the actual answer?
Here is the
we
tiebreaker.
go.
Not impressed. My wife and I finally saw this movie. She was very anxious to watch this movie, especially since she loved the first one, and I thought the first one was good. After watching, we both agreed that it was slow, boring, and pointless. Personally, I didn't care for the love story, and the villain didn't have enough to do. I can't really write about it since there wasn't much to it. Gripe. Being born and raised in New York. Why was there an elevated train in Manhattan? They should at least get that right. Kyle has sent me his answer.
Genuinely unsure. The dumbest answer I can think of in a place that technically takes place in New York, but it also technically doesn't.
Maya's answer was The Dark Knight Rises. Kyle's answer was Spider-Man 2, which means that
Confetti
Kyle
explosions
wins.
behind. I'd like to thank with my trophy of Clorox wipes. I'd like to thank my encyclopedic knowledge of stupid movie stuff. My mom, obviously, and Spider-Man 2 specifically.
I'd like to blame my father for my loss because he raised me solely as a DC kid.
Okay, so that wraps us up. As we've seen, Kyle has won, which I'm sure he'll never let us forget as long as we all live.
This was
Thank you guys for watching All Systems Go. Stay tuned for more videos coming up throughout the show. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Up next, it snowed yesterday, so winter is here. We'll look at the chilly expansion for The Sims. Then, it's a cold, cold war in the latest Call of Duty campaign. Stick with us. The Sims 4 is back with another expansion. This DLC is all about winter fun and games in a mountain resort. But is it worth dropping those hard-earned simoleons? Megafan Taylor is here with what must be the most enthusiastic review we've ever had.
It's that time of the year, everyone. A new Sims pack came out. And of course, I must review it. This pack is titled Snowy Escape, which came as a surprise to many fans, as speculations were a murder mystery pack. This pack includes a world with a snowy mountain and Japanese-influenced towns surrounding it. This world is not only a vacation world, but it's also a residential one. Now, I'll start with Create a Sim. The hairs that came with this expansion pack are lovely. They are diverse and include a lot more unique color options. The outfits in this pack are great. They are unique, they have such great designs and patterns, and they fit so well with the theme of the pack. Now, onto the gameplay. We start at the starter home I chose. It's great, it's within budget, and it fits the Sims nicely. There's a new bathhouse introduced in this pack, which is a way for your Sims to relax and unwind. Within this bathhouse are vending machines, another new feature introduced. The downside is that vending machines have a really low success rate. You will most likely not get what you wanted or anything at all. Another negative is that although this expansion introduced taking your shoes off in homes, it requires a sign that comes only in this pack for it to work. Tell me, when was the last time you kept your shoes on in your house all day? It should have just been in a regular update. Another new feature is sentiments, which are basically memories that come with each Sim you grow relationships with. There's a new Sim profile that is introduced with it, and of course I had to try sentiments out. Although, I did get a bit distracted. And of course, with snow being the focus of this pack, skiing and snowboarding was added to the game. It's available for adults and children as a skill. I love how when you level up in these skills, you unlock new clothes with it. Now, the last favorite of mine, it has to be hiking. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. You encounter hornets, forest spirits, bugs, and other environmental things in the hikes. I am seriously surprised by how much I love this pack, and this may be my favorite Sims pack so far. We saw Island Living give us a great new vacation world, and somehow Snowy Escape gave us one even better. I give this a 9 out of 10.
It's that time of the year again. A new Call of Duty game has released, right on schedule this time. They're going back to the 80s with Black Ops Cold War. Should you answer the call, or should you block the number? Here's our resident COD fan Darian to tell us more.
Call of Duty 17 Black Ops 6 Cold War is finally here. After rumors of development issues and a late-stage transition of developers and an attempted rescue of a game that Activision has decided must come out every year no matter what, the game has managed to release, bringing with it a trio of old favorites: multiplayer, zombies, and campaign. This review is going to be discussing the campaign portion of the game, as decided by you, the people, in a Twitter poll. Going in, I was kind of excited for this campaign. Treyarch always tries interesting experiments with the campaigns in their games. Black Ops 2 experimented with branching storylines, real-time strategy missions, and multiple endings. Black Ops 3 experimented with co-op. Black Ops 4 experimented by not having one. The big gimmick of this campaign is the ability to create a custom character. You get to choose a name, background, gender identity, and you even get to give it some perks to aid in gameplay. The perks are easily the most substantial part of the system, and everything else seems kind of meaningless. I made my character an ex-KGB agent named Carl Duty, because of course, and I gave him more health and more bullet damage because they seem to be the most overall useful. Even then, the perks don't seem to affect things too much. I played the campaign on Hardened, like I always do, and I didn't find myself dying too often. It was hard to tell if that was down to the game being easier or down to my increased health. And the system only applies when you're playing as your character. For the half of the game where I was playing as not my character, nothing really felt different. The game also uses interactive dialogue options as a gimmick, but this feels more like set dressing than anything actually meaningful. Compared to Infinity Ward's focus on big set pieces, Treyarch COD campaigns have always had a focus on narrative. The first Black Ops in particular had a really twisty espionage theme to it, which is continued here in Cold War. This game does what last year's Modern Warfare reboot did, where they bring back old familiar characters but make them feel just different enough to throw you off. It's nothing completely awful, but there's just something off about everything. Gameplay is the same as it's always been in Call of Duty. You move, you shoot, you throw some grenades, rinse and repeat. The core gameplay of the franchise works well enough that its lack of variation isn't a big deal. And besides, the campaign is all about story and not so much innovative gameplay. Graphically, this game is gorgeous in a lot of places. I played on the standard PS4, and even that is enough to diminish the beauty of some of this game's visuals. Honestly, I'm excited to see what this looks like on the PS5. Whenever I get it. Overall, the campaign for Black Ops Cold War is about what you'd expect for a Call of Duty campaign. Its gimmick is kind of weak, but doesn't actively ruin the game. The characters exist in a weird uncanny valley of being the same and being not the same, but it still feels good to see them again. If you like Call of Duty, I'm sure you'll like this. 7 out of 10.
Coming up after the break, Jeremy and Darian compete to see who is the best assassin in Hitman 2, with a bit of a twist. Stay tuned for more All Systems Go. Hitman 2 is a game with a lot of weapons. Alongside the classic guns and knives, there are also more unconventional weapons. Darian and Jeremy competed using only a briefcase to see who will be the most deadly at the next office meeting.
Darian.
Jeremy.
Hitman 3 is coming out in just a few months, but we're not done with Hitman 2. We've got to find out who's the best assassin.
The best assassin is 47. He's the best of the best.
That's true, but who is the most 47 out of the two of us? So I've devised a challenge for us. This is going to be on the New York map, which I don't know very well, to make it fair.
Neither. I played it like once.
Yeah. So the rules of this challenge stipulate the only tool you're allowed to use is the briefcase. You may not put anything in the briefcase. You may not use anything you find in the level. This is a briefcase-only challenge run. You know, we each get a life, and whoever gets the farthest, I guess, wins. Do you agree to these terms?
I agree to these terms, yes.
Oh, we should use different suits so we can differentiate the feeds.
That's true. Let's see what suits I got here.
I don't expect to succeed, but hopefully it'll be funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we shall see.
All right, yeehaw, partner. Here I am, I'm here to make a deposit.
I'm gonna deposit this briefcase into someone's face.
I'm just listening to a reporter right now, trying to get some direction.
I'm just in the bathroom.
Just hanging out in the bathroom.
Yeah. Bathroom is a good place to kill people without being seen.
Sorry, ma'am. I'm just looking for a fella to get his clothes.
I don't want to poison any cups. I don't have any poison on me.
And you never will.
No, I guess I picked the wrong week to leave my poison at home. It's a rookie mistake.
Hitman would never do that.
There's the key. Okay.
Yeah, I've given up on the cameras. That's not my priority.
Yeah, but my silent assassin instincts are telling me to avoid the camera, so.
We are pretty much tied right now. I just got that.
Ooh.
It's exciting. We're actually going to be able to track what we're doing. I don't need a coin to get you, chump. I'm going to hide in a locker right now. I think I screwed up a little bit.
Clearly I'm a better silent assassin than you are.
I think this might be it for me.
Oh no. Wait, so if we die, is that an instant fail?
Yeah, that's a
Oh, man.
DNF.
Oh no.
It's okay. I've retrieved my briefcase.
That's what it's all about. You didn't lose the briefcase.
Uh-oh, she's got security. They know.
Oh dear. What are you gonna do?
She's hiding behind that pillar or what? Is she invisible? Oh no, that's a mirror. Okay, I'm dumb.
The ultimate defense from being assassinated. Just don't be seen. Oh, so am I be let in? Am I allowed in there? Or I guess the better question is, can I take you out and take your uniform without being caught?
I'll call you directly as soon as I know. And
Oh, they're backing off. They've given up searching for me. I'm going to have to make a risky play here. This is not going to be easy.
And she's unconscious.
I got to make a
Target
move.
is now unconscious.
She's dead.
Just drag her body here. I knocked her unconscious.
That's not an armed man. That was a waste of time. I'm blind. No! I'm down.
I knocked her unconscious.
They got me.
I'm not. I got shot, but I am
They got me, boys. Snap, now just run out of there. And you
now
win.
I'm dead. I am now dead.
You're now dead?
I am now dead, yes.
So it sounds like a resounding tie.
Yeah.
We had the same playthrough, essentially.
Basically.
Well, there you have it.
Clearly, neither of us are very qualified hitmen.
Hitman. We're the kamikaze hitman. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more of this game. So I'm sure you are.
Hitman
as
3 is
well.
going to be great.
So we'll just have to keep training until then.
I guess so.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
When we come back, some of our cast members discuss their personal Game of the Year picks. We did ours before the Game Awards did, which means we're better than them. Stay tuned after the break to see if any of our choices overlapped.
It's November 13th, and you know what that means. That's right, Game of the Year season is upon us. Seems like it comes earlier and earlier every year. To talk about our Game of the Years, with me I have the incomparable Jeremy Farbman.
Hey, I love Thanksgiving.
And the legendary Dan Snyder.
Yeah! This guy.
Let's start out with the big question, gang. What is your Game of the Year? Or like a top 3 if it's hard to pick.
I think in January, something that came out at Finish that I really enjoyed was Kentucky Route Zero. This is basically an adventure game where there aren't really any puzzles. It's really just more... Okay, so when you think of the term visual novel, you probably think of like some dialogue portraits and just like still images and stuff like that. But this is more like, you know, you're exploring a world, you're exploring a scene, and like you're finding dialogue and stuff. You're doing a lot of reading, but it really, I say visual novel because it feels like I'm inhabiting the world of a novel more than anything else. And it's really a story about like traveling down this highway and a bunch of weird stuff happens, and it's got like themes, you know, like literary themes, stuff like that. Really great music, really striking art style, and it's out now. So that's just something that I started the year with. So why don't we ping pong to someone else?
Well, of course, I got to think of Doom Eternal. That was like the first game that I played this year that like really impacted me, that I absolutely enjoyed. High octane energy the entire time. It wasn't Doom 2016, but it was Doom Eternal. We had a previous conversation about this on our podcast. Go check it out. And Doom Eternal really like provided like an escape from like watching the news. Everything that was going on outside was horrendous, but at least like for the HE double hockey stick that was going on out there, I had HE double hockey stick to fight all the demons with this game here. I was even gifted before the shutdown by 1 week, my birthday. I got the collector's edition helmet, steel case, and cassette. It was a nice distraction. Lots of energy. I can't remember the last time I had that much fun with a single-player campaign story throughout the entire game that I have to put it up for a contender of Game of the Year.
All right, so my honorable mention is Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's a game that like I enjoyed. I spent a lot of time with it, but at this point in the year, I just have no motivation to ever go back to it. Like as an experience, it's very like front heavy. It's so much fun at first when you have so much more stuff to do, but then like once you start finishing the stuff, there's not much left to keep you coming back.
Animal Crossing might not be the game of the year, but for the first half, it defined 2020. Do you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
And I'd say like Among Us defined the second half of 2020. Just in terms of the cultural conversation and where like where society was at emotionally. I feel
we
like
live in a society.
It captured that moment, and I think that deserves to be recognized.
Yeah, for sure. If Kyle was here, he'd probably talk about it more, but he's not here, so we can move on.
Okay, and so the last game I want to talk about is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest. I played the first game a few years ago. I thought, you know, this is fun. I'm just not a big fan of the genre. There were some like issues that I had with it, but the sequel pretty much just takes everything from the first game and just makes it better. Like the combat is more fun. There's actual boss fights this time. The game is simply gorgeous. Like every frame of this game could be your desktop wallpaper. It's that like artistic, and you know, like no scene looks the same. And just all the new powers they give you, like in most Metroid games, like you get the double jump at the end, but this you get it in like the first 2 hours. So it's like, okay, the bar is set. I better see some crazy stuff. And you know, it gives you a lot of fun, crazy stuff to do. The music, again, tremendous. Stories, very nice. A lot of cute animals and sad things happening to cute animals. So if that's your jam, definitely check it out. It's probably my favorite Metroid game that I've experienced.
So my number one is Hades. I saw a review of it on ASG. I don't remember who did the Hades review on ASG. I really like, it's just escaping me. But I played because hey, the game looked kind of cool. I've heard a lot of good things about the Supergiant games, even though I never played one until now. If they're all this good, then consider me a fan.
So I played their first two games this year. I replayed Bastion and I played Transistor for the first time, and I think this just totally blows them out of the water. In terms of gameplay, obviously, it's their fastest game to date. It has the most going on, but also in terms of story, I thought just this is how you do story in a roguelike, and you still have it be engaging after all these runs.
And like the story helps give you a motivation, like keep playing run after run, because like even when you beat it, you don't really beat it because there's still more to uncover with the story. But this was a nice discussion. You know, we officially decided that Game of the Year is a tie between Hades and Doom Eternal, and I forget which one Jeremy said.
I would say Hades. I don't know. Like I'm playing I wish I was playing Miles Morales right now. So that's probably going to be up there. I got another game I'm working on, Desperados 3. So there's still time. You know, if you've heard any of the games we're talking about and you thought they sounded cool, there's still time. Get them in. What's after this block? I don't know. It's gonna be something cool. So
It's gonna be a surprise.
Stay tuned
and find out.
Yeah, stay tuned for the ASG Sayonara 2020 special. We'll be back in a
Play
second.
Hades.
Do you think they're sick of us yet?
I would be.
Well, I guess the good news is they won't have to worry about us for much longer, because this is our last show, Darian.
I know, it's sad. It's bittersweet.
So yeah, do you want to? I guess we'll just talk about what the show meant to me, because I've been on it since the first season. I've been on it the whole time, and I can honestly say, like, I don't know what my life would be like if I didn't have this show. Like, all my best friends at Kent, I met through here. It gave me like a purpose in a weird way, and I just have like so many memories of like, I remember like doing this thing, going to Comic-Con, doing this review, doing those sketches for the Amiibo stuff. It's nice, having those memories, and it doesn't really feel real, because I wasn't expecting there to be a pandemic. I was not expecting to graduate early, because I wasn't paying that close attention. So in a number of ways, it feels like it's not over, but it kind of is. So I don't know. What about you?
You took a lot of the thoughts like right out of my brain, which I'm gonna have to sue you for that one. You're stealing from me. But also, like, I remember walking into that first meeting, and I was like so terrified. Like, I don't know any of these people. I'm gonna do terrible on the show. I don't know how I made it through that audition and got cast. But then like within like an episode or two, that was just all gone. I felt so comfortable here. I felt so comfortable with everyone. I felt like I had like a place that I belonged.
Yeah, I will say, maybe about a year ago, I was feeling burnt out, sort of like we were spinning our wheels. We weren't really, advancing. And then, like, I believe that was the season where you came in and a bunch of other people came in, and I just got really re-energized. I was like, these people really care about the show, and they want to put forward their best foot, and they want to learn. And that got me, reinvested in the show, and to the point where I actually applied to be a producer, because people would ask me before, Jeremy, don't you want to be a producer? And I was like, I don't really have any ideas for it. But, when the shutdown happened and then we did the podcast, I was thinking, we can adapt to this. This doesn't have to be a bad season because there's a pandemic. This can still be really good. So I came in and I applied with like a vision of what I wanted the show to be. And you guys all took that and you ran with it. And I'm honestly just so proud of this season. This beats out any other season for me. I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. With everyone's work, especially this episode, you guys all killed it. You brought your A game, all your reviews and stuff. I don't know what else to say really. I'm sure you have more stuff you want to say, but
I really don't. Like, I've only been part of the show for 2 seasons now, but like I definitely think this was our best season. Although, I mean, last season kind of fighting an uphill battle because we didn't get a chance to do much with it. Like, I think if we had more time with last season, we could have done a lot of great stuff. We were like on the verge of it, and then this is a season where we really got into it, and now it's over.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could go back in time and like do this show earlier.
Well,
but
I mean, I guess we can look forward to more shows on from the outside now, because we've got all these other people. Hopefully they'll come back. Corey, you'll be producer. I'm sure of it.
Corey
He's
will
giving me
never
the
leave.
peace sign. But hey, so I guess to wrap it up, I guess I just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting us, for supporting the show. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there. Hug your loved ones, because you never know how much.
Make
time
sure
you
they're
have.
tested before you hug them.
Absolutely. And from us here, and from all of us here at TV2, thank you for watching.